All right, what's going on, guys? We're live. This is Stefan James. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Listen, before we really dive in, I want to make sure the audio and the video is working okay. So if you guys can let me know in the chat if you can hear me and see me okay, that'd be amazing. I got my computer here. I can see the comments and the messages, and let me know where you guys are joining in from. Let me know your name and where in the world you're joining in from. I'm going to do some shout outs before we really dive into what I want to share with you guys. And I will mention today, I want to focus on opportunities for making money online in 2020. I'm sure that's why you guys are here, but I do also want to make sure that I answer your guys' questions so that I can serve and support you with where you're at. I've been building online businesses now for about 10 years. I've had many mistakes and failures and many successes. And it's been a long road and a long journey. And I feel privileged to be in a position where I can hopefully inspire you, but also help you with some of the questions you have, the challenges you might be facing right now in your life, building your business, getting started with it. Listen, I get it. It can be overwhelming. There's a lot of questions that might arise. So I want to do the best I can to support you guys with that. And I do want to also announce, I see all the messages coming in. Give me one sec. I also do want to announce that we launched my Mastering Book Publishing course at www.masteringbookpublishing.com. We launched it earlier this week. I put another video a week or two ago letting you guys know that it was coming soon. It's now live. It's now available to purchase. We've had people jump in from all over the world, and so far the launch has been very successful. And right now we got a special limited time price and discount for you guys to take advantage of before the price goes up on Tuesday of next week. So if you are interested in getting in the game with one of my newest courses that teaches you step by step how to get started selling on Amazon by publishing books, even if you're not a writer and even if you've never sold anything online before. And I'll address that a little bit later, but mastering book publishing is a great option. For many people, it's one of the ways that I started my journey selling online and making money online, and it's still a great opportunity right now, primarily because you're leveraging the power of Amazon, the biggest online retailer in the world. They originally were a bookstore, now they're the everything store. They sell everything on their platform, and they provide a lot of great opportunity for anybody that wants to sell on their platform and make money. And right now, at a time like this, I get it, it's challenging for a lot of people. Money's tight. A lot of people are quarantined right now, and it's affected their livelihood, their job, their business. There's also, I believe, there are some opportunity right now, and selling online and building a business is an opportunity. And I want to share, with those of you that are interested in pursuing this opportunity, how to move forward with it and how to create your business and have success. So let's turn the attention over to the chat, guys. Thank you guys so much. Glad to hear everything is working okay. All right, we've got someone here from Chicago, from Greece, from India, from Athens, Greece, from Oklahoma, from Virginia, from India, from Rhode Island, Germany, awesome, Athens, Maryland, Canada, Utah, Chicago, Austria, Lyndon from Mauritius, good to see you, Lyndon. Sam from Washington State, we got Southern Carolina, you got Chicago, we got Niagara Falls, El Salvador, South Africa, France, Percy from South Africa. We got someone here from Ian from Denver, Colorado. Welcome, Ian. We got someone here from Serbia. We got India, the UK, Romania, Greece, St. Louis, Hamilton, Ontario. Fantastic. Romania, Quebec, Canada, Blaine, Washington. All over the world. There's just too many to get to. So thank you guys so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's always a pleasure to be here live with you guys and to be able to serve you. And I want to let you guys know how much I appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted that you're here giving me your time. There's a lot of other things you can be doing right now with your life. And so I really appreciate that. And I want to do the best I can to support you guys and serve you and help you to move further, faster in achieving your goals online. Now, a few things I want to mention to you guys before we dive into questions. So I know there's going to be questions, but I'm going to ask you guys to wait a little bit before diving into them. I want to kind of share a few important things for some of you guys here that I think could be really valuable on this topic before we dive in. And then when I say, okay, let's dive into the Q&A, then you guys can send me some of the questions that you guys have. And I want to mention too that as I ask questions of certain people that even though you might not think it's related and relevant to you, I still want to encourage you to have an open mind and to listen, because sometimes I've learned a lot from being in masterminds and groups where I'm kind of watching a dialogue, a conversation between other people, and I'm kind of like a sponge taking that in. It can really benefit me. So I want to invite you to take on that same mindset and approach, just to have an open mind here today, and understand that in any moment your life can change. This is a distinction that I've had in my life. I've been into self-development for over 15 years now. And my life changed many years ago when I was shy and depressed and in a really dark place in my life. My parents went through a divorce, and before that they had a bankruptcy, and they fought all the time around money, and I had a lot of pain with that. And I was just in a really dark place where I was looking for an escape from reality. I didn't like my reality, so I played video games, and I just consumed that as much as I could. And it wasn't until one moment in my life where I got exposed to something new. A new idea, a new insight, something I never heard of before, which was the concept of self-improvement, that we can change, we can become whatever we want to become in this world. You know, before that, I just always believed and thought that this is who I am. I'm born this way, and this is the way I am. I can't change. I'm stagnant and stuck with the identity and the beliefs and the way of being that I was. And once I got exposed to the new idea of self-improvement, it was very exciting for me, because then I realized that I can create my future. That my future, I can make that whatever I want it to be. There are no limits in life except for the limitations of our mind. You know, and if you dream and you utilize your imagination, anything's possible. So I took on that approach, and that one idea changed the rest of my life. And then I had many other moments like that over the last 15 years. I mean, even just discovering the fact that you can make money online was life-changing for me. You know, I kind of grew up believing what everyone else believes, right? What society tells you, your teachers or parents, your peers, which is that you got to go to school and get a good job, and you got to work your 9 to 5 for the rest of your life until you're 65 years old, and then maybe you can retire and get a pension and support yourself, and then you can enjoy your life. And that's what I believed until I got exposed to the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Then I got exposed to Robert Kiyosaki and the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and different ways of being and living that changed everything for me. And once I got hooked, then I had to figure it out. I had to find a way to pursue and actualize that. And so I really believe that at any moment your life can change. It could be the next thing that I say. It could be the next thought, the next idea, the next decision that you make in your life. Everything can change in the decisions that we make in our life. And that's why I think we got to live our life with positive expectation and anticipation, really being excited that you never know when that might be. But the only way you get a breakthrough is by having an open mind, not a closed mind. Right? That's why the most dangerous words in the human language are "I know that." Then the moment you say that, you close off your mind from learning anything new. The only way you really know something, are you doing it and living it? You might know goal setting, but are you successful with your goals? If you're not, you don't know goal setting. You might know about mindset and confidence and success and building a business and making money. Are you successful? Are you making the money you want to make? If you don't know it. You understand it, you know of it, but you're not living it. And that means you got to go back to the repetition and mastering it, which is what I'm really about. So I digress. What I want to share with you guys, a few things. So I mentioned Mastering Book Publishing is now available. We'll put a link for you guys, or go to www.masteringbookpublishing.com. The reason why, guys, I've been working on this course for about 2 years. The reason why I've been so passionate about this, I mean, any of you guys that are going to build a business online will know that if you create something, you put your energy, your commitment, your money, your time into creating a product, whether it's a book, a physical product on Amazon, a course, no matter what it is, you put a lot into it. You want to get it out there. You want to share it because you know the benefit it can provide to other people's life. And part of it, I know the benefit it's made in my life, and I know what it can do for you in your life as well. But the reason why I'm also passionate about this is I think the timing is amazing. Right now, at a time like this where people are quarantined, they're actually buying more online because they have to. They can't go to traditional retail stores as much as they used to. Last time I checked, most malls in the world are closed. You can't go to the mall and just buy whatever you want to buy. It's forcing people now to buy online. And there's already been billions of people on this planet that buy online, but that number's now increasing because you have to. A lot of people that have been, hesitant to start buying stuff on Amazon or online, maybe the old school generation, now they're having to. They're having to start to shop on Amazon more and use the internet to purchase things online. And as a result of that, Amazon is surging. Amazon stock, all-time high. Shopify stock, all-time high. I invest in both of those companies. Right now it's surging and going up. And at a time like this, the reason why I think books are a powerful business model, and not just books, any form of content, is because right now people are consuming more content online, more than any other time in history. You know, it's always been going like this, more people using the internet, watching YouTube videos, buying books, reading blog posts, going on social media, etc. People have been doing that a lot already. Now that's going to another level. And it's one of the greatest opportunities right now to get in front of people, to share your message, to create content, to build your business, to sell on Amazon. Because right now the tide is rising. A rising tide raises all boats. But you got to get a boat in the water for as Amazon grows, as YouTube grows, as all these platforms grow, you can grow and benefit from it. So right now, books are surging. More people are buying and reading books, providing more opportunity for you. I can tell you the clients that I work with that publish books, their sales are going up. For me and other YouTubers that I know, their YouTube channels are going up. My channel got 1.4 million views in the last 28 days. We recently, I think a few weeks ago, crossed 50 million views, which blows my mind. It doesn't seem real, but I guess it is, according to the statistics on YouTube. So it's just really incredible right now. And I understand that I'm very sensitive to the fact that a lot of people, are struggling right now. And there's a lot of difficulty, but I also sometimes believe, I tend to take a more optimistic approach and mindset in life, because I don't think there's that much value in always being negative and pessimistic and looking for the dark side in things. I think you got to be aware of that, but I also am optimistic enough to know and look at opportunity and see things for what it is, but even better than it is, to see possibilities that exist and try to figure out how to be resourceful to take advantage of it to get further ahead. And I believe in God. I'm a Christian. I have certain spiritual beliefs and faith, and I always believe that everything's happening for a reason and a purpose, and it can serve us. And I know that right now, one of the most difficult times in life can actually be one of the greatest moments in your life, because often it's not until we experience pain and difficulty and hardship that we ponder and we come up with new ideas and we go down a different path and different decisions that we make that long term can get us in a better position than where we are today in the present moment. And sometimes it takes something catastrophic to happen for you to make a new decision and go down a different path in your life. I mean, it's painful to end a relationship. I don't know about you, I've been through breakups in my life with past girlfriends. I've had my heart broken. It's painful in the moment, but whenever you get altitude and you scale that out over the long run, you look back and you're grateful for that painful moment, that yes, it did suck, but because that relationship ended, maybe it then allowed you to find the right man or woman in your life that's your soulmate. Or it's painful to lose your job. It's really hard to do that. I've been in situations as well where I was broke and struggling in my life. But when you get altitude on that, and maybe that situation forced you now to pursue your passion in life, which you never would have before because of the comfort and the security of the job that you're in. And right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. Right now, security is an illusion. It doesn't exist. The security that we have is the security, the beliefs, the confidence, and the certainty we create in our minds. And right now is a time to step into being a leader, not a follower. It's time to step into your power and to elicit the best that you have within yourself, to find out what you're really made of and to make things count in your life. And you can't wait for the environment, the government, or other people to do that for you. You got to take charge and you got to take control. So, for those of you that are looking for opportunity, I can share with you guys some. Mastering book publishing might be one for you guys, and I'll answer any questions you guys have around that. But there's many other opportunities. I listed, building a YouTube channel, great time to do that. Building a blog, great time to do that. Being an influencer online, great time to do that. Selling products on Amazon, great time to do that. Affiliate marketing, great time to do that. Anything online you can't go wrong with and can do really well with. Now, I have to give you guys a disclaimer. Everything that I share here with you guys, you got to know this is not a get rich quick. Okay, there is no get rich quick. If you're here looking for an opportunity that you do this, you follow a few steps, you press a few buttons, and you're going to make money overnight, this is not for you. Success doesn't work that way. Okay, if you're looking for money, if you're in a really desperate place in your life and you got no money, building an online business can be a fit for you, but you got to understand it's a long-term journey. That it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take several months, if not years. And some people, they never make it, okay? You got to know that going in. If you need money right now, you got to get a job. You got to trade your time for money. Maybe there are opportunities online online jobs that you can find, being a freelancer, working for another company. There are opportunities like that as well. But if you actually want to build a business and create passive income and build something that is providing you income every month, like an online business and the things I'm alluding to, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 30 days. Okay, it's going to take several months. There's a learning curve just like with anything else. And a lot of people, they're naive anytime they start anything new. And that's fair. I'm the same way myself, because at first you're an outsider looking in. You don't really know what it takes. You don't know the process. You don't know the steps. You might have read about it. You might have watched videos about it. You think you know what it takes to build a business online. But if you've never done it before, you have no idea really what it takes. And I can tell you this, and I'm just being honest with you guys because maybe no one else will tell this to you. It's always harder than you think. It's always going to take longer and be harder than you think. So you got to release that attachment and expectations. Anytime I set a new goal in my life, in my business, I'm always very humbled because I realize that it's going to be a lot harder and take a lot longer than I originally thought. You know, when you set a goal, you're projecting, you're speculating, you're guessing based on the limited knowledge and experience you have of when you can achieve this by and what the result's going to be. But you never know until you go through the process. And that's why the process is the most important thing. And that's why there's no guarantee of how well you can do, because we all have our own journey, our own process of what we have to go through to become successful. So for you, it might be different than me, than the next person. Your success at the end of the day is not going to come from me. It's not going to come from a course. It's not going to come from a book or a coach or anything like that. It's not going to come from Amazon. It's going to come from you. You are the number one factor that will determine your success. Your mindset, how hard you work, what you put in, your intelligence, your creativity, your ideas, your resourcefulness, you know, your level of desire and just whatever it takes mentality, that's what's going to determine your success. Because nothing will work unless you work, my friends. I can't make you successful, only you can. No course can make you successful, only you can. No personal trainer can get you in shape, only you can. I can guide you, I can give you ideas, I can share with you possibilities, but you've got to decide, you know what? I'm going to commit to this, but I'm also going to work on myself, because as you embark on this journey, you're going to find that a lot of your fears, your insecurities, your doubts, your self-imposed limiting beliefs, all of that's going to come up to the surface and be exposed. And if you have awareness and you're into self-development like I am, and I'm sure you are as well, then you welcome that because it's an opportunity for you to grow. You're now seeing what your blind spots are, and now you can improve it. Hey, you know what? I got to work on my work ethic. Or hey, I got to work on my intelligence, my decision making. I got to better manage my time. I got to better prioritize things. I got to really master my emotional state so I don't feel anxiety and fear and analysis paralysis, so I can get into action. Right? Or hey, you know what? I got to look at what's not working, what is working, celebrate that, what's not working, and see what I can do to optimize and improve that. You know, guys, I'll dive into your questions in a minute because I know they're coming in. I appreciate your patience and my hopefully motivational and inspiring rant that I'm giving you guys right now. But I want to set this context, and it's not sexy. I know a lot of people, they want the tactic. They want to hear how they can make money without doing anything. I'm not the guy for that. Okay, if you're looking to have success without doing work, if you're looking to make money quick, you know, I'd probably tell you just to turn off this video, maybe find someone else that can give you that or tell you that. I don't know of anyone or any way or any method that exists that you make money quick with. If there is, I want to know what that is. But I've never come across this, and I've been doing this for over 10 years now. So I want to give you guys, you know, yes, I want to give you what you want, but I also want to give you what you need here today and give you the message, the foundation that is really important, because the truth is that 80% of your success in your business is going to be your psychology, your mindset, and only 20% is going to be the how-to, the tactics, and the strategy. Because if you're committed enough, if you want it bad enough, if you're resourceful enough, you will find the way. And that all comes down to your mindset and your psychology. And the number one reason why people don't succeed is because their mindset and their psychology that's limiting them and holding them back. So yes, I know you want to, you know, ask the tactics and you want the techniques and you want the shortcuts and things like that. I can kind of give you some of that, but honestly, it doesn't matter unless you really get down what I'm saying to you right now. You know, that you really understand how important this is. But, you know, what I wanted to share with you is, you know, one of my role models is a famous coach. He passed away a number of years ago, but his name was John Wooden. And John Wooden was the winningest coach in NCAA history. college basketball. To give you an idea, he was the coach for the UCLA Bruins. He coached Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in college, but he won 10 championships out of 12, 7 in a row. It was unheard of. But here's the interesting thing. When you look at someone like that, one of the winningest coaches in history, to have that level of consistent success, the interesting thing is that he never talked to his players about winning. He never talked to his players about winning. What he did preach to them, though, is that every single day to improve. Every single day, just to make one improvement, one small improvement in yourself, in your game, in who you are, in your ability, in your skill set, in your value. That if every single day you improve, you're not going to have to worry about winning. That if you truly want to be a champion, it's not going to be based on what's on the scoreboard. Okay, that if every day you just make your focus getting better and better and better, that's going to translate to you winning and leading to success. Because here's the thing, a lot of you guys are so caught up in the result of winning, of making money, of success. And you're forgetting the process of what it takes to get there. That's the most important thing. You master the process, and every day you just try to get better and better and better. You learn new things, but you put it into action, you apply it. You get the course, you invest in yourself, you take the steps, you do it, you publish a book, or you publish a product on Amazon, or you build your website, your YouTube channel, but every day you're just trying to improve a little bit. And sometimes the improvement is 0.001% every single day. That adds up into creating the success, because success and money and passive income and financial freedom is only the byproduct of the process that you've mastered, the value that you've given and added to the world. For me, I don't honestly focus that much about money. I focus more on improving myself to be the best I can be. I focus on adding value and contributing to other people's lives by creating a product that I know can serve, by creating content that I know can benefit people's lives. And it's counterintuitive. But the truth is, we heard the cliche before, the more you give, the more you get. That's a mindset. If you're trying to build a business, but you're just trying to get and take and trying to make money and get money from customers, it's not going to get you far, because the only way you make money in any business is someone else out there has to give you their money in exchange for something you're giving back to them. You're giving them value in a product or a service that the other person deemed as valuable and provides a benefit to them, that they're willing to pay you in exchange for that. And they're going to do business with someone they like, know, and trust. Someone that's going to over-deliver for them and provide a great benefit to them. And that requires a mindset of focused on giving, not on just getting and taking. If you're wondering why you're not where you want to be in your life, are you a giver, or are you just looking to extract and take from everyone else? If you're someone that's giving and has that abundance mentality and just trying to give and serve, you don't have to worry about success. You don't have to worry about fame. You don't have to worry about attention. You don't have to worry about status, significance. All of that gets taken care of by itself when you have that mindset of creating a great product and putting it out there and serving people, and also improving yourself, your business, your product constantly. The money will follow. But a lot of people, they don't want to go through that process. And that's why most people don't succeed. So the mindset, guys, we can talk more about that. But I wanted to make that clear for you guys about the process and share that with you. So with that being said, guys, how about we dive into some questions, and I can tailor some of what I'd like to share with you guys here with that. And one more thing I want to share, I know a lot of people are going through a tough time. One thing that I learned from one of my mentors is that you don't want to wish for things to be easier in your life. Don't wish for things to get better. Wish that you get better. Wish that you grow and evolve, because the more that you grow, you can handle these challenges in your life at a much different level, at a different capacity. It's kind of like lifting weights. Right now, a lot of people, their emotional fitness is is kind of being exposed. A lot of people, they're not emotionally fit. They don't have a strong enough mindset to endure the difficulties of life. And we've kind of been lucky, in my opinion, this last generation. And we had the greatest bull market in history. Things were going up and up and up, and things were doing pretty well in the world. And we didn't have to go through what our grandparents went through, which was a depression and wars and a lot of challenges like that. And they, went through a lot of challenges that made them emotionally strong. And right now we're being tested right now. And right now I kind of look at your mindset just like your physical strength and well-being, your mental, your emotional strength If you lift weights, if you've never lifted weights before, you're gonna go to the gym, lift up a dumbbell, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult, it's gonna be challenging. But as long as you endure that, you embrace failure, you embrace the difficulty, then you get stronger. You can lift more and you push beyond it, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. And now what was once difficult now becomes easy. And that's the reality, is that as you embrace this mindset of what I'm sharing with you guys, you get better, you get stronger, you can withstand any turbulent time, any difficulty that arises in your life because you became more and you evolved, and your capacity to do more and give more and be more and all of that gets taken care of. So mindset, guys. All right. Okay, Brina says, I'm just gonna pick random questions. Brina says, do you suggest going to business school or not, and why? Brina, sorry if I mispronounced her name. It really depends on what your goals are, what kind of business that you want to build. If you have an idea, a vision for it, and maybe going to business school could provide some benefit for you. For me personally, I decided not to go to business school and university. I actually took half a semester of one class called Introduction to Marketing at Kwantlen College in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada, and I dropped out halfway through it. And for me, I came to the realization that if I really want to learn business and learn about success, that I have two different options here. I can invest the next couple years of my life, spend tens of thousands of dollars to go to university and learn from textbooks and learn from professors that can regurgitate certain information and maybe teach me about business and teach me all this stuff that may or may not be actually applicable to the reality of building a business. And most of these professors never built a business and never had any success, and you get graded and judged not based on your ability or your capacity to actually build a business, but just how well you can actually memorize information from sitting there in a class or a textbook. I decided I could take that path, or I could take thousands of dollars and spend a fraction of what it costs to go to business school, and I can learn instead from people that are actually successful, that have the life that I want, that have created the business that I want, and they have courses and education programs that are working, what's working right now today, especially with internet marketing, because anything you learn in a textbook at school or from a professor is going to be outdated. I mean, if you want to learn how to build a YouTube channel, how to do Facebook ads, how to build a blog, how to sell on Amazon, you're not going to learn that from a university. Okay, whatever they created in their curriculum's outdated after a year. So for me, I decided instead that I wanted to learn from other people that were already successful, that had the life that I wanted. I wanted to listen to them and follow that path rather than the path of just learning all this general information, but understanding for me that the information doesn't have any value unless you actually apply it. There's a lot of things. I learned business as I went. I learned business by reading the business books, studying Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, studying Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, learning about Elon Musk and learning about these incredible entrepreneurs and learning their mindset and all of that. And the funny thing is, as you learn about these incredibly successful entrepreneurs, you actually learn that a lot of them dropped out of business school, whether it's a Mark Zuckerberg or a Bill Gates or a Richard Branson, and so the actual people that are the most successful, they dropped out of school. So for me personally, that's the path that I decided to take, but it really depends what your vision is, what the goal is. And for me, I look at my education was learning by investing in courses, seminars, mentors. And I don't know if I went down the business school path, if I'd be where I am today, to be honest with you. I don't think I would be. So I'm grateful for the path that I took, because today, because the internet, it's really changed the education model. You don't have to go to school anymore. You can educate yourself online. The education model is ancient, it's old. The internet's been around for a while now, and it hasn't yet adapted to what's available and how much easier and faster we can learn from other people. So, great question. Can you compare a course, this is from Alona, can you compare a course versus a live coach mentor who works directly with you? Great question. So a course is generalized information. It's a system, it's a process, it's a step-by-step that you're investing in at a much cheaper price than it costs you to hire someone one-on-one on Skype or on Zoom to teach you the same information, but you're getting a process at a much more inexpensive price. But the challenge with it is more generalized information. It's not custom tailored exactly to you, your personality, your goals, your niche, your business, your product, all of that. When you're first starting out, you invest in courses, because the reality is hiring a mentor and a coach, if you hired me for coaching one-on-one, you'd pretty much be wasting your money, because everything that I would tell you if you're brand new as a beginner, I would just say it's right here in the course. I mean, you can pay me, if the course is 10 hours long, you can pay me hour by hour, $1,500 an hour for 10 hours and give me $15,000, or you could just go through the 10 hours in the course that's a fraction of the cost. So when you're first starting out, go through the course, because there's so many basic beginner things you got to learn first, and you really want to be at a certain level of proficiency where now it makes sense for you to hire a coach or a consultant, where now they can look at what you've done and they can give you feedback and point you in the right direction, help you improve it, and set you on the next level path to where you want to go. The other hand though, a value of a coach would be more if, when you're first starting out, if you really struggle with just motivation, you don't take action in your life, you're lazy, you're not consistent, you have a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of fears, that's the value a coach can give you. And in that case, you'd want to hire a life coach, an accountability coach. That's a lot cheaper than hiring a successful business coach. A multi-millionaire, if you want to hire that person, their time's worth a lot. It's going to be unaffordable when you're a beginner. You can get a life coach for $50 an hour. Okay, hire a life coach, $50 an hour. They'll coach you and help you with the mindset to make sure you're taking action with the course. Okay, but you want to start out with the course, the generalized information, make something of that, and then once you're at a different stage, then hire a coach, hire a consultant, a mentor that can help you move further than that. All right. All right, this is from Leonard. He says, so how do you choose a subject to write about when you have never written a book before? So Leonard, so first you got to understand that before you even choose a subject, you got to do research. There's a process that I teach inside Mastering Book Publishing. You first got to do research to see which niches and which topics on Amazon are already selling and are in high demand. Because the big mistake that people make when starting a business or publishing a book is they think, hey, I've got this great idea for this product or for this book, and I think people would like it. I would like it, I'm into it, so I'm gonna create the product on it and I'm gonna put it out there and sell it, and then they come to the rude awakening that, unfortunately nobody wants it. I remember this one person that I had, he published a book on stem cells, and he thought, yeah, stem cells is up and coming, there's a market, there's probably a demand for it, I'm into stem cells. He put it out there, no one bought it. Because yes, even though there might be a market for it, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are on Amazon searching for it and looking for books on that and willing to pay for it. So what you do first is you do a process that I teach to research all the different niches that are available, all the categories on Amazon, and you go through and you look to see which ones are selling, which ones are making money, which are the ones in high demand, okay? You can look at categories, maybe determine meditation. A lot of people are buying books on meditation on Amazon, or maybe you determine, a lot of people, they're really interested in goal setting, or they're really interested in improving their confidence, or reducing the amount of anxiety they feel in their life, or they're interested in gardening, or they're interested in the ketogenic diet, or they're interested in numerology, right? These are all niches that are high demand, profitable niches on Amazon. So once you come up with a list, then what you want to do is you want to do further in-depth research to see, okay, if I were to publish a book, how could I publish that on this topic? What's the competition looking like? You want to kind of evaluate and assess it. And then your job as a publisher now, okay, is to put on your publishing hat and say, okay, there's a demand here for this. People are interested, I've done my research. Now I'm going to create a product. I'm going to create a book on this that can serve people and help solve the problem they have, provide benefit to them. Now, you could write it yourself if you're knowledgeable, if you want to go deep and research that subject and you're confident you can provide value to people. Or what you do is you hire a ghostwriter. You find a ghostwriter. There's many writers, especially at a time like right now, where a lot of them are looking for work and looking for ways to make some extra money. You hire a ghostwriter. They'll write the book for you. They'll do research. You can give them research. You can work with them in whatever kind of capacity that you want. You can be hands-off. You can be hands-on. You get to choose. And by the way, most books out there that are sold on Amazon that are from celebrities and famous people are written by ghostwriters. They're not written by the actual famous person, because the process of creating a book if you're a busy, successful person, Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or you name it, Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson, whoever it is that publishes a book, they have a ghostwriter that interviews them, right, and extracts everything, and they turn that into a book for them. So you get to decide, do you want to be interviewed? Do you want to do research? Do you want to hire someone that's already knowledgeable, that does the research and can write this book for you? Your job as a publisher and where the money is in the publishing and the marketing of a book. Did you know that traditional publishing houses, the biggest ones in the world, whether it's Penguin Books, Simon & Schuster, HarperCollins, they take about 80 to 90% of the profits of a book, and the author only gets 10 to 20%. Because the majority of the value is actually in the publishing and the marketing of it. You can have the best book out there, but if you can't publish it and market it and get it out there, no one's going to benefit from it. So being able to publish and market, which is what I teach you to do, and you hire someone to create a cover for you, and you put it together, and then you launch it and market it and publish it on Amazon. That's the process that I teach. Now you can also work with writers, do a 50-50 split, okay, or work out some sort of split to handle the publishing and the marketing for them. There's options like that as well. But you don't need to come up with you don't need to know any ideas right now. You go through the process of research, and you don't even have to be a writer. You can hire someone to do that for you. You always want to work on your business and not in it. You want to leverage and scale as much as you can. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like saying, hey, I want to build a house, but I don't know how to build a house. I don't know how to do the flooring, the foundation, the the roofing, the plumbing, and the electricity, and all of that sort of stuff. You don't need to know all of it, okay? If you're trying to leverage yourself, you're a foreman, and you say, okay, I'm going to hire someone to do the framing and the foundation. I'm going to hire an electrician. I'm going to hire a plumber. I'm going to hire a roofer. I'm going to hire a painter. I'm going to hire people to do that. And now you're in a position where you can scale faster because you're working on the business, not in it. You're working on the house, not in it. You can now build 5 houses at once because you're outsourcing and leveraging everyone else. That's how you scale a business. Okay, you got to remove yourself from that. And if you want to write your books, you can, absolutely. I don't want to discourage you from that if you want to write and you want to save money, or you maybe just enjoy it. Maybe you're an artist, you're a writer at heart, you want to do that. But whenever you scale and leverage, whenever you leverage, you scale. So that's how I think and what I try to teach people to think. All right, Cedric, hey, thanks for the donation. Do you know any autopilot service to create clips? I don't know what you mean by that, clips and autopilot service. I don't know of any. I'm not sure if you're referring to maybe on social media. Sometimes you see clips of videos and content that's out there. I personally, in my business, I've got a full-time graphic designer, and I've got 2 video editors, and so I outsource those things to people in my business that support me. But we don't have a process for automating that. All right, which kind of books would you recommend about mindset? Give some examples if possible. Well, there's actually a great book called Mindset by Carol Dweck, which is a great book. Talks about the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. Another great book from Angela Ducksworth is called Grit. And one thing I love from that book is she talks about something called the hard thing rule. The way you develop grit is every day you do something hard, you do something difficult. So that's something I'm on board with. The classic book that I read many years ago is called What You Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. I read this book when I was 18 years old, and in this book it talked about affirmations, that you can condition your belief system, your mindset, by every day you write down your affirmations. So I used to take out my journal every day when I was 18 years old, and I'd write out again and again, I am confident, I am confident, I am confident. I have pages of that I still have in storage. And I would just again and again and again, because whatever you attach I am to is what you become. So that was a great book that I read. And everything from, Tony Robbins' books, Unlimited Power, Awaken the Giant Within, to, learning about neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, by, John Grinder and Richard Bandler. He's got some great books on mindset and shifting your belief systems, to, even studying psychology. I've studied Carl Jung, I've studied Sigmund Freud, and many different psychologists, and wanting to learn more about mindset and how to cultivate that. Johan says, "Hi Stefan, what is the best way to approach or contact a mentor on Facebook or Instagram?" Johans, the way that you approach it is you don't approach it to try to get something from them. never to try to take, because they get a million messages and emails and people that want something from them. You don't approach them saying, hey, can you help me? Will you mentor me? I have this problem, can you solve it for me? Okay, that's a way that they're just gonna ignore you, because now you're someone that's just trying to get something from them. It's no different, Johans, if you've ever had the experience of walking down the street and a homeless person approaches you, and right away you can tell they want something from you even before they approach you. And most often you have a guard that comes up, you're defensive. And some of us, I like to think some people out there, they are generous, and even in spite of that, they do want to help and serve. But I'd venture to say majority of people, they have a wall up when someone wants to get something from them. I'm sure, many women out there are used to, if they've gone to bars and clubs and gone out to socialize, there's a lot of men, you can tell when they approach you, they might have a bit of a wall up, because most men want something from them, right? They want to talk to them and get their phone number, go on a date, or to have sex with them, right? And so a lot of women, they put up a wall, and it might not be fair. Maybe not every guy's like that, but they do generalize and think, well, I've had this happen enough times that they have to be a little bit defensive. It's the exact same thing when you approach someone. So you never approach from a place of trying to get. What you do instead is you try to serve them and support them and give to them. And you do that in advance before you ask for anything in return. So the mentors I've had in my life, I've always just added value to them. Give. Support them. I like all their stuff. I share their stuff. I comment on their stuff. I help them promote their products and their services. I just keep showing up time and time again until they just acknowledge me. And they're like, wow, who is this guy? Thank you so much. Or I find ways to support them. For example, when I was 21 years old, my first business was a dating coaching and life coaching business called Lifestyle Transformations. I decided to put on this seminar called the Ultimate Transformation Super Conference. And what I decided to do, the idea that I had, is I'm going to reach out to these successful people that are amazing at what they do, these speakers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to them, I'm going to look at first, okay, what is their goal? What do they want to accomplish that I can be in alignment with and support them with? So all of these people, they wanted to reach more people. Right? They wanted to sell more, promote their business, promote themselves, sell more products, sell more services. So I'd approach them and I'd call them up or email them and say, hey, listen, I'm putting on this event and I'm going to have 100 people there, and I want to invite you to speak at this event. And at this event, I'll give you the opportunity. You can be in front of 100 people and you can promote and share your product and service. And so I was setting it up for them in a way that it was a win. It was in alignment with their goals. And I covered the costs for the event. I put it together. I got volunteers, some of my friends. I put it all together and organized all the logistics and provided them the platform to reach people. Because anybody that's a speaker, they have a hard time getting people in seats. That's the hardest part. So I just find ways to add value, be creative, and be resourceful. And the truth is, a mentor wants to work with someone that's creative, that's resourceful, that's smart, that's a go-getter. That's who a mentor wants to work for and support and help them, because they see potential in them. The mentor does not want to help the person that's just like, make me successful, do this for me, answer my questions, and just take without giving anything in return. What frustrates a mentor is people that are not coachable, people that are not resourceful, people that don't find the way or make the way. And that's why oftentimes coaches and mentors, they have a barrier, which is they charge a certain amount of money for their time. And they say, hey, you want to be mentored by me? This is how much it costs. And we're going to find out really how committed you are. And of course, a lot of people, I can't afford that, I can't do that. Right then and there, the mentor knows, okay, this person gives up. This person isn't resourceful. This person's not committed. They don't figure it out. They don't sell shit they don't need so they can find it. That person, their potential of success is just not there. On the other hand, they set it at that price. The person finds the way. They're resourceful. Things that I did car washes and sold my video games. I did whatever it took. That's the person the mentor looks to and is like, yeah, that's the guy that I can help. That guy is going places. That guy, he just needs some guidance, and I'm going to help him go to the next level, right? So it's all about how you approach things, but don't be a taker, guys. I'm in a position, I get a lot of people that come to me, and my heart, and I just want to give. I want to support people, and I just don't have the time to do anything one-on-one, so I can do things and scale in this way. And that's why I create my courses, is I can reach more of you and help more of you than I ever could one-on-one. It's just not realistic to do that. So, You know, a lot of mentors though, they have courses, programs, books. Start there, go through that even before you even come to them for any mentoring. All right, guys, great questions. All right, hey Kim. Kim says, any advice on becoming a digital marketer's 19-year-old? Yeah, Kim, you know, I'd say pick your niche. Marketing is very broad. There's many different ways to market online. There's a million strategies and techniques and tactics to market whatever it is. And you want to be a specialist in something. And really to have success, all you got to do is get really good at one thing. And then when you get really good at that, you make money with it. Then you have the opportunity with money to outsource and hire other specialists to support you. So for me, I got at the beginning, honestly, I got good at a lot of things. You know, I learned search engine optimization and blogging and writing, and I did pretty well with that. And I learned how to create products, and I learned how to do copywriting, and I learned how to source products on Amazon. I learned how to publish books on Amazon. I learned how to do affiliate marketing. I learned how to create videos and do content on YouTube. I learned Instagram marketing. I learned PPC, paid advertising. I learned a lot of things. And that was kind of useful for me, but honestly, I wish I just picked one thing, got really great at that. And for me now, there's just a few things that I'm just really great at, I think. You know, for me, for example, creating content, creating videos. I love it, I enjoy it. It not only, you know, does well for my business, but it also fulfills me. The rewards that I get from this, being able to help and serve people, I love that. It's not the most lucrative thing that I do because I do trade my time for money, and, you know, it's not as automated as other things that I can do, but it brings the most emotional rewards, which is what I'm after really more, and the impact that I can make more than just money or financial freedom. So when you get really good at one thing and you master it, then these other pieces, you can hire someone. For me now, I can hire someone to do my Facebook ads. I can hire someone to do my SEO. I can hire someone to do my funnels. I can hire someone to do, you know, other parts that I used to once do. So pick your niche. Maybe it's learning Facebook ads. Maybe it's SEO. Maybe it's funnels. Maybe it's copywriting. Maybe it's writing content for blogs. Maybe it's editing videos. I don't know what it might be, but find the one and go deep with it, study it, consume all the content on it, go through courses on it, practice it every day. You know, every day, you know, for me, for many years, I've been building YouTube videos and speaking and coaching and all that. And the more you do it, you're 19 years old. By the time you're 25 years old, you're going to be a superstar. You're going to be super successful, and you're going to do well if you follow that advice. All right, hey, this is from Shandan, or Chandan, sorry if I mispronounced your name. I've taken your course KMM 2.0 and published 2 books on nutrition, 1 book on dating, and 1 book on mental health. And you mentioned in Mastering Book Publishing, can I build a self-development brand around that? So you absolutely can, but you gotta understand that self-development is very broad, okay? Self-development means a lot of things. Self-development can be goal setting, morning rituals, overcoming procrastination. Self-development could be everything, okay? So it's a very broad topic. Instead, what you want to do is you want to narrow that. You want to narrow that into a sub-niche of self-development and get really great at that. Build your business around that, okay? For me, with Project Life Mastery, I went broad. And I first kind of tried a lot of different topics. You know, I shared my goals, and I shared, you know, my morning ritual, and I shared overcoming, you know, improving your habits in life, and I shared a lot of different self-development topics. But you got to understand that when I started Project Life Mastery, it wasn't the best way for success, because I didn't start Project Life Mastery really I didn't think it'd, you know, become as successful as it is today. But I was also already in a position where I was already making a lot of money online. And so I more built Project Life Mastery and went broad because I just had a passion to share things that I was learning. But eventually what I learned is that the audience that I was building was segmented, that the majority of people were only really interested in certain topics. So for example, I had this one video on my morning ritual back in 2012 that just blew up, got hundreds of thousands of views, and it changed a lot of people's lives. And it really showed me, hey, there's a lot of people here that want to learn more about morning rituals. And so what did I do? I actually created more content on morning rituals. I became the expert on morning rituals, and I don't consider myself an expert. I don't think you could be an expert on morning rituals, but I gained a lot of experience and studied it a lot and tried to help people with it. And then what I did is I actually created a course. I created a course called Morning Ritual Mastery at www.morningritualmastery.com that actually teaches someone over 7 days how to create a ritual. And I learned that a lot of people would ask me and share with me their challenges. And one of them was that a lot of people would really struggle with consistency. that they could set up a ritual, but actually sticking with it every single day was a big pain point. So I'd include that in my course and help people with that and create a more intimate program. I eventually created a 30-day morning ritual challenge. And then I created a book, and I actually published a book on Kindle and paperback and audiobook that's on Amazon called 67 Morning Ritual Habits. Because a lot of people ask me, well, what can I do in my ritual? What ideas, what are things that you do as part of your morning ritual? So I built like a little mini business just on, not self-development, that's big, just on this little niche called morning rituals. And it doesn't have as much potential as maybe some other things, but you build that out, and now you can branch out into other niches. And that's what I did. Eventually, for me, a lot of people wanted to know how I was making money online. So I'd help people with that. And right now, my business, I've got many different niches that I try to cater to from my content. I got a niche of people that follow me that are interested in Amazon FBA. So I try to cater to that and put out some content. I segment people to a free training that I have and resources that can help them learn more about that. I got a segment of people that follow me that want to learn about how to publish books on Amazon. So I try to cater to that once in a while. Then I got a segment of people that want to learn about investing, right? And I try to cater to that. And then I got a segment of people that want to learn more about mindset, and I try to cater to that. A segment of people that want to learn more about affiliate marketing. So these are all different niches. But I know what my niches are and what my audience is, but you don't want to overwhelm yourself when you're starting to do everything. You want to pick one and master that, and then you expand and go broad from that. All right, great question. All right, Elliot says, hey Elliot, hey Stefan, I lost my personal training job with the COVID-19 virus. With the fitness industry slowing down, was there advice to stand out online? So Elliot, I would tell you that the fitness industry is not slowing down, that people still have a desire to get fit, to look good, to feel good. And I'd venture to say that right now that market is really becoming hot, because at a time like this where people can't go out, they want to be active. They want to do something. They want to build their body and feel good. And especially at a time like this, people want to have a stronger immune system, and I think you can really position yourself in a way and cater to those people. And right now it's just, you have to adapt. And that's what you have to do when things change that are outside our control. You got to focus on not what you can't control, but what you can control. And you got to adapt and be flexible to that. If you don't adapt, you fall behind. Darwin said it was not the strongest or the smartest of the species that survives. It is he who is the most adaptable to change. So you got to adapt, Elliot. You had a business and you didn't have the foresight to see what was going to happen. I don't think anybody did. But now that you're in this situation, you got to adapt. A lot of your clients, people that you work with, why don't you offer them coaching and help them with their nutrition, or provide a home workout plan for them, or do some training over Zoom with them? You can coach people over Zoom. Hey, all right, let's do your training, your workout today. We're going to start with push-ups. We're going to do a circuit. We're going to do sit-ups. We're going to do this. We're going to do jumping jacks. We're going to do squats. You can still do that, and there's people that will pay for that, and they're looking for that. So there's still opportunity right now, but you got to adapt, and you've got to build a business right now that can withstand these turbulent times. And if you're a trainer, put out content online, share with people some tips and give some value out there maybe on a YouTube, or build your Instagram, or whatever it might be, but put out value that will grab people's attention, that will want to follow you and learn more. And then you can provide your service to them, coaching, personal training, and provide it online. And now you're not limited just to a local market, your local neighborhood, your local city. Now you can actually reach the entire world and scale and build something even bigger, right? So same thing for me. I was a dating coach when I first started my journey, and I spent a few years really immersed in that. And, I just was like local to downtown Vancouver, Canada. And I used to do my workshops, my boot camps, and my one-on-one coaching with that. But I was very limited in how I could scale that. And I eventually realized if I create a book, my first product I ever created was a dating ebook that took me about a year to write. And I learned a lot from it. Didn't have to take a year, but I created this book and I started selling it online. Now all of a sudden, I wasn't limiting myself, trading my time for money, but I could solve this problem and help people with this aspect of their life by publishing a book online. And eventually, created an info product on that. And I didn't really pursue that business much long term. I transitioned into other niches and self-development primarily, but it was the same sort of thing. So you have knowledge as a personal trainer. Get that knowledge now out there online on the internet. Create free content, maybe publish a book. You know, my Mastering Book Publishing course can help you with that. Publish a book. There's people buying books on weight loss and gaining muscle mass and some niches within fitness right now that has a lot of opportunity. And you can build your business from that. All right, great questions, guys. All right, hey Anthony. Anthony says, hey Stefan, how can we learn or best model you? Do you provide a guideline on how you found out your niche? What made you want to help people and get into stocks? Canada, yeah. Great to see a fellow Canadian here. You know, Anthony, the way that you model someone, modeling is a concept that comes from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is founded by Richard Bandler, John Grinder, and a few other people that would actually model and study the top therapists, psychotherapists, people that could really transform people's lives through therapeutic interventions. They studied Virginia Satir and a variety of others, Milton Erickson, one of the most famous hypnotists in the world. But what they did was they modeled and elicited what they would do in their mind as well as their behavior and their actions. They modeled all of that, and they found that you can replicate anyone's success or result by modeling that if you get the ingredients of it. So let me give you another example, Anthony. So let's say you want to make an incredible chocolate cake. This is an example I learned from Tony Robbins. An amazing chocolate cake, and John the baker makes the best chocolate cake. Now, can you make that exact same quality of chocolate cake than John the baker? Of course you can. What do you need from him? Well, you need to know the ingredients. You need to know the sequence and the order of which, what do you start with first? And you start with this ingredient, and then you do this, and then you do that. And if you elicit all of the ingredients, now you have the recipe. And if you follow that recipe, you can get the exact same result as John the baker. Success works the exact same way. There's a science of success that you get the formula, which by the way is in the courses that I create. You get the recipe, right? I mean, you can try to bake your own chocolate cake and wing it and try to figure it out, or you can just go to John the baker and say, hey, what's the recipe? And that's essentially what you're investing in when you buy an online course on whatever it is. I mean, if you want to model me with publishing books or affiliate marketing or certain aspects of my life, I've got courses for that. If you go to projectlifemastery.com/courses, I've got a list. I've got my Life Mastery Accelerator course that teaches my strategies there more in depth. Now, I share a lot with you guys here on YouTube. I just try to give a lot here, but the reality is my best quality content, step by step, as a recipe all put together, is in my online courses. The YouTube videos and the content you find online for free is just like one ingredient, but it's not put in the recipe, put together in the sequence, step by step, the order that leads you from A to Z. You're just kind of watching a video on this. Okay, interesting. You learn one idea, one ingredient, one concept, but now you got to figure out how to piece it together with everything else. And that's why when you buy an online course, you're buying a shortened learning curve. It's saving you time and money than trying to figure it out on your own. So if you want to model me, model the beliefs that I have, and everything that I say and speak that comes out of my mouth, just as you do, is a representation of a belief. Okay, it's a belief. And model that. For me, when I model someone, I'm writing out what they're saying, what they believe, and I'm trying to integrate those beliefs into my psyche. And that's why one of my favorite things I do in my morning ritual is I research quotes. I love inspiring quotes from successful people, and I write them down on flashcards and I speak them out loud again and again because I want to integrate in my subconscious mind this mindset, this belief system from Gandhi, from Nelson Mandela, from Martin Luther King Jr., from Mother Teresa, from whoever it might be, Bruce Lee. I want to model that and integrate it. So if you just model though the strategy, the steps of how to build a business or how to invest in stocks, but without the psychology, you're not going to get the same result because the strategy and the actions come from what's up here, right? The psychology, the mindset. So anytime you model me or someone else, you not only get the strategy, but you've got to elicit the mindset and you got to work on integrating that because that's the most important thing that determines the strategy and the step. All right. Great question, guys. All right, hey Pamela. Pamela says, so if you're starting from zero, where to start and how to plan the progress? So Pamela, it's a little bit challenging to tell you exactly where to start because I think everybody will have a different starting point. It kind of, you got to know first before you try to figure out where to start, you got to figure out where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? It's kind of like, if you don't have a destination and you're getting in a car, you're just going to drive around in circles. So before you get in the car, you got to know, where do you want to be? Where do you want to go, Pamela? What's your goal? What's the vision you have for your life? I know for me, I got very clear on the level of lifestyle that I wanted to create. I knew that I wanted to be a multimillionaire. I knew that I wanted to make a huge impact in people's lives. I got really clear on what was important to me as part of my vision for my life and the kind of life that I wanted to live. And for me, I had certain role models and people that inspired me and helped me along the way, such as Tony Robbins and Brian Tracy and Wayne Dyer and all these incredible Jim Rohn and all these great motivational speakers that for me, I kind of knew deep down inside, I want to do something in some capacity to really help people and to really change their life. And so it first starts, Pamela, where do you want to be? Take out a journal. I got my journal here, guys. I write in it every day. I believe that a life worth living is worth recording. So I write out and plan out my vision 5 or 10 years from now, what I want. And then I figure out, okay, what can help me get there? And you can't just be general and just say, I just want to make money. I just want to, have passive income. You can write that, but I think the more specific, the better. So when you know that, that is going to make a difference for you, Pamela, because maybe, for example, and you also got to know a little bit about yourself. So let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, you're really kind of attracted to the idea of long-term building a business that can be automated, building a business where you're selling, where you're selling a physical product and you're building a brand that you're really passionate about, where you're at your vision for your business, you want to help people and they love your products and you build this great brand. Maybe you can sell this brand one day and you want to leverage Amazon and Shopify and build an online store. And you're the kind of person, you don't want to put yourself out there. Maybe you want to be more anonymous behind the scenes. Well, if that's the case for you, then maybe Amazon FBA is a great business model. And the way you'd start is you get an online course like Amazing Selling Machine that I share. I got a free kind of introductory get started. I send you some emails that can help you at projectlifemastery.com/FBA for fulfillment by Amazon. But maybe that's the way you start, okay? Or maybe you decide, I want to be a speaker. I want to be a coach. I want to inspire people. I want to share things I'm learning and make an impact. Maybe then you start building a YouTube channel, right, and becoming an online influencer and learning that process. Or maybe your long-term vision is, I want to publish a book and be a best-selling author or build a company with many books out there that make passive income on autopilot. Great, maybe you start with Amazon book publishing, right? So it really kind of depends. You got to know those factors about yourself and even knowing how much money you have to invest, because some business models will cost a lot more money, some a lot less. Starting with Amazon FBA, even though it has so much great potential, one of the best businesses to start right now, it's going to cost you a couple $1,000s to get started. Maybe you don't have that much money. So maybe a better place to start is by publishing books on Amazon. You can get started for a couple $100. It's very newbie friendly. You gain experience, and maybe that helps you learn right now, Pamela, and then you take what you learn, you make some money, and then you take that and then you venture into Amazon FBA and selling physical products. There's many different routes, and here's also what I'm going to say, Pamela, is that sometimes you got to try a few different things. Sometimes you got to get your feet wet. Sometimes you got to try this and try that. And I remember when I first started my journey about 10 years ago, I tried a variety of things online and I kind of dabbled a little bit. And sometimes you got to dabble a little bit at the beginning just to kind of find what works and what you enjoy and what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. At a certain point, you pick something, you go deep with it though. And I did that, and I tried a lot of different things, and I struggled. I didn't make any money for a while. For the first 3 years, I never really made much money, a little bit here and there, but it wasn't actually sustainable or life-changing. And that time that you spend, Pamela, it's not a waste. It's not a waste. Don't judge your success whether or not you make money or not. You start, you gain experience, you learn, and that experience then helps you later down the road for your future business. Because those years that I spent paved the foundation for me to become a multimillionaire, right? Paved the foundation to help support me to do what I do now today in my life. So you just start somewhere, Pamela, get a good course, learn, make some money with it. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It's okay. The real value is not what you get, it's who you become and what you learn. You take that with you. No one can take that away. You can lose the money. You can't lose who you are and who you've become and what you've learned and the skills that you've cultivated. That will always translate into money in whatever you pursue in your life. So just get started, Pamela. Pick something. It doesn't have to be perfect. Start and then get your feet wet, get in the game, make money. All right. William says, can you do a mini course for goal setting in 2020? World and beyond, life mastery member here. Thanks for being a light to the world, brother. Hey, thanks, William. Great to hear that. You know, William, there's not too much more that I have to share on goal setting. I'm not sure if I'll create a mini course on it, but inside the Life Mastery Accelerator, I mean, that's the process of what I teach for goal setting, what I do personally in my life. I mean, maybe I could do something eventually one day, but honestly, I just got so many things on my plate. And for me, I proactively practice in my life doing less. You know, I'm in a position now where I think I've earned the right. I'd like to do less and not really do less, but it's just really the other areas of my life that are more important to me. I love my business and it's my mission in my life, and I love to share and I want to support you guys, but I also know I have to, make sure I take care of my spiritual life and well-being. That's always the most important thing. My health and my physical body, my relationship with Tatiana, my mental, my emotional well-being, my friends and my family. And so sometimes there's a lot of demands in business where, people want things and there's a lot of opportunity and ideas and things that I can do, but I have to distance myself at times and, make sure I cultivate really what matters most. And that allows me to be much more effective as well in being a leader and being an influencer online as well. So great idea. I'll consider it, but I've got a million ideas and I can't do them all. And I got to make sure I prioritize my life first. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying this, please give it a thumbs up. Always appreciate it. The thumbs up is kind of the equivalent to, if I was speaking to you, maybe you'd give me a high five, or you give me actually an applause if I was speaking in public, but I do appreciate the support, guys. All right, so again, I'm just picking random questions. I know there's a lot. I'm gonna do my best to answer them for you guys. Rolly says, how do you balance work and relaxation? Well, Rolly, for me, I have a really amazing morning ritual that I prioritize before I start the workday. What part of it is actually meditation. So meditation for me just really calms me and calms my mind and puts me in a very present state. And I think that's really important. It's been really valuable for me, especially in this crazy world that we live in where there's overstimulation and it can have a lot of negative effects for us. And then it's in the evening time. The evening time is my time where I relax with Tatiana. We we actually do meditations together sometimes. We do something called the KISS meditation, which is like we have tantra coaches and people that we work with just on creating more intimacy in your relationship, which is really awesome. But we do eye gazing and certain experiences like that, which also relax us too. To watching some shows that we're into at times and certain self-development stuff or whatever it might be. So I get my relaxation time in the evening and weekend as well. And then I'm in a position where I have freedom in my life where I can really do what I want. I don't have to work. I don't have to work another day of my life if I don't want to. I've got more than enough passive income coming in, not even from my business, excluding that, just from my investments. I own a lot of dividend paying stocks that would pay me a six-figure income for the rest of my life. And so I'm very blessed to be in that position. And so there are times where I do get really passionate and excited about a project. And I do go into a mode sometimes, which is that warrior mode, that masculine mode of just pure focus and just conquering and dominating something in your life, which sometimes you got to access that part of yourself. And then there's times where I take a few weeks or a few months off and I travel. I mean, last year I traveled to 18 countries. And, took a lot of time off and really enjoyed that. So I kind of go through different cycles at time. And I know for me, right now when you're quarantined, I don't mind, being more productive and working, but I know that, Tatiana and I are starting a family. In that stage of my life, I'll be going through a different journey. I mean, I want to be a great father and I want to start a family and I'm not going to work all the time then. And so I might not be as active on YouTube or in business at that stage of my life. I might prioritize different things, and we all have different chapters of our life. One chapter of my life in my 20s was, work and productivity and, success, and that was one chapter, but that chapter doesn't always serve you for the rest of your life. We all mature and evolve and reach different stages of consciousness. And when you grow in your life, especially through success in business, you want to figure out how to get more done with less effort. Okay? You got to figure out how to work smart, not hard. At first, you've got to work hard and you got to work smart. But as you become more successful, you don't need to always work as hard as you did before. When you're up and coming, when you're grinding, now you want to work smart. And for me, I can work smart because now I can invest. I can invest in businesses and I don't have to do the dirty work. I mean, today, if I want to publish a book, I'm not going to do the dirty work. I just might rather pay someone and hire someone to do the dirty work for me. I can give my ideas, the strategy, you implement it. And it's a luxury that I understand it's very privileged to be in, but I'm just kind of sharing with you the levels that you go through. I don't need to get my hands dirty in the ways that I did before. I mean, I can, and sometimes I do that because I enjoy it, but you want to work smarter over time, and working smart for me, even for example, I can relax more too because I can hire a chef, or I can hire a house cleaner or a nanny when I have kids, and that also frees up time too. So there's different levels that you're going to go through, but when I first started my journey, I didn't really relax as much. I always kind of believe you can relax later. You can sleep when you're dead, and I would sacrifice a lot. And it's not the healthiest thing, but sometimes it's necessary if you want to, if you have a dream and you have a goal and you want to actualize it. All right. Hey, Mastery Era. I think that's Lyndon. How you doing? How can I rank old books on Amazon which are not ranking at the moment? So what you got to do is you got to understand what ranks a book on Amazon is the sales velocity of it. So if you make Amazon money, you drive sales to your book, Amazon's going to love you. They're going to rank it. Amazon, they want the best possible result that shows up, that when someone goes to their search engine, they type in a keyword, they find the best product, the most relevant product, but also the one that makes Amazon money. Why would they rank a book or a product high up in the search for a keyword that doesn't make them any money? They want the books and the products that make them money. So what you got to do is you got to promote your book. You got to market your book. You got to drive traffic to your book from outside of Amazon. You got to do a book launch. Maybe you got to get on some podcasts and do some interviews and drive sales that way. Maybe you got to create a lot of content and funnel that into your book. Maybe it's building your blog, your YouTube channel, or social media, whatever it is. For me, if I have a book on Amazon right now and I want to rank it higher, because I've built this platform, I can send an email to my list. I can put out a YouTube video. I can share it on my Instagram story. And boom, just like that, I'll get an influx in sales. Amazon will like that. They'll reward me for it, and they're going to rank my book higher for that. So you got to really focus on the marketing and driving sales. That's what Amazon wants. You scratch their back, they'll scratch your back. Okay, you can't expect Amazon to do that for you. They give you their platform to publish on, but they're not going to do all the work for you. They'll promote your book and rank it and share it and recommend it if you make them more money. That's how this deal works, right? It's you provide value to Amazon, you drive sales to them, and you funnel sales to your book, and they're going to rank your book a lot higher. So that's the process of ranking in anything on Amazon, not just Amazon, Google, YouTube, any search engine. That's how they work. Get in alignment with what their goals are, and you'll get there. Okay, Brina, I think you might already ask one question. I'll answer this one again, Brina, but I want to make sure everyone gets a chance. But how to get over anxiety, which is stopping me from starting a YouTube channel, a blog. All right, so Brina, there's a lot of things I can share with you on this topic. First thing, do you meditate? If you don't meditate, that's the first place you start. Because anxiety is that you're overthinking. You have an overstimulated mind. You're thinking of the worst possible situations and what could go wrong, and your mind is too active. And the antidote to that is meditation. So what you got to do is you got to practice every day just being silent, sitting down, closing your eyes, focus on your breath, calm your mind. As thoughts come up, you don't judge it, you don't attach to it, you just let it go. And you will have thoughts that come up. You might have an active mind. The more active your mind is during meditation, the more that you need meditation. Okay, but what you got to do is just focus on your breath. Your breath, your mind is like a kite and the breath is like the wind. You always got to remember your breath directs the mind. right? Just like the wind directs where the kite goes, you can calm your mind just through your breath. So what you do is every day, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, if you want to go deeper than that, you can. Joe Dispenza's got some great, amazing meditations that I like. But you focus on your breathing, your meditation, you calm your mind. Whenever your mind comes active, it might take you a minute or two to notice it, but when you notice it, okay, that's my mind. Nothing my mind is saying right now is true. These are just my thoughts that they're having, because your mind is a survival mechanism. It's always going to try to keep you safe and comfortable in your comfort zone, right? It's like an over-worried mother. If you listen to it too much, it drives you crazy. So what you do is you just calm your mind and you practice that. Your anxiety will dissipate from that. Okay, so meditation is the first place I'd start. I can share a lot more with you, but honestly, if you are looking for deeper help with this, Brenna, look into my morning ritual mastery course, because you're going to need a morning ritual for sure that can condition in you the states of confidence and certainty and the emotions you want to get you in the state of taking action to build your YouTube channel and blog. Okay, so morningritualmastery.com can help you with that. And even deeper than that is my Life Mastery Accelerator program. That will also help you really master your emotional state and help you with that. That's at lifemasteryaccelerator.com. Both, by the way, very inexpensive programs, but have my best content. All right, so I want to make sure I answer people's questions that didn't already ask. I want to try to make sure everyone gets a chance. All right, Lee J says, is there a saturation with so many publishers? Great question. So the truth is, there is always going to be competition in any niche that is high demand and is profitable. So yes, there's going to be competition, there's going to be saturation. But that doesn't really matter. Okay, it matters if the only strategy you have for marketing your book or your product is through Amazon. Because here's the thing. You sell a product on Amazon, physical or a book, Kindle paperback book, no matter what it is on Amazon. How do you market that product on Amazon? There's really only two ways. One is you understand Amazon's a search engine. People go, they type in a keyword, and if your product shows up in the first page or within the first few pages, depending on how big the niche is, they find your product, they click on it, and they buy your product. Okay, that's one way you market your product. The second way is by running Amazon ads. You pay Amazon and you can run advertisements to target people based on keywords or specific products to get your book, your product in front of them with a chance of them buying your product. Now, the problem is everyone else is doing that on Amazon. So it's harder to stand out and differentiate. And yes, you can differentiate with your book by positioning it differently, having a better cover, having a better title, having a better price, maybe having more reviews. You can do all of that and you should do that and pursue it. But the reality is everyone else is doing that, okay? And you can get really good at finding niches, and there are some people that are really good at that. They find a niche that's just not that competitive, high demand, boom, they make money from it. But the reality is eventually other people are going to get into that. So the solution to this, the antidote, where you never again have to worry about competition and saturation on this level, is you actually build a brand. You build a business. You market your book from outside of Amazon. Because listen, everyone else is doing the same thing, right? They're trying to rank their book and they're trying to run Amazon ads. You add one new stream of driving traffic from outside of Amazon to your Amazon listing. Maybe it's you build a funnel, you run Facebook ads to that funnel, you build an email list, you funnel people to your book, and you send emails to them that are interested in your book, and you follow up with them as well through your email marketing and even ask them for reviews. Just that alone, you're getting sales to your book that your competitors aren't getting. And what happens? Your book ranks, and Amazon loves you for it, and they rank your book higher. And now you get reviews and sales that your competitors don't get, and now you rank. And now you get organic sales from Amazon because you kill two birds with one stone. You're getting sales from over here, and that benefits you on Amazon, which gets you more sales there as well. So you actually have to have a marketing strategy. You can't just put up a book or put up a product on Amazon. That's silly. You got to use these other parts of the internet, and that's what I teach inside my courses, guys. I teach my online business mastery blueprint. Your book or product is only one part of an online business. An online business is something bigger than just a product that you sell, okay? You want to start with a product, but you're building your brand and your business, and you're building multiple pillars like a Parthenon, not a one-legged stool, all right? So this is where a lot of people, honestly, this is why they need a course and they read the right guidance, because really part of it's mindset and then strategy and actually knowing what to do and actually how to market and sell their book. But really my goal is to help you build something bigger than just selling a product on Amazon. I want you to build an actual business, one that you could sell one day, one that's sustainable, one that's long-term, one that makes you passive income. And the main skills you got to master is marketing. It's not just creating a book and putting up a product on Amazon or whatever it is. It's marketing, attracting people to you. Because the two most valuable things you can ever have online in an online business, you should write this down. Number one is attention. Okay, and that's, by the way, what you're trying to do. You're trying to market to get people's attention. That's why advertisements, they show up before YouTube videos. That's why when you scroll through Facebook, you're seeing ads that pop up on your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed. They're paying money to try to get your attention. Okay, I publish videos on YouTube to try to get your attention. You found me some way, shape, or form through my video or through my podcast or through my social media, right? Or through me being interviewed on someone else. But that's the first skill, is getting attention. But once you get attention, you got to know how to get trust. You got to build a relationship with people. Now, let me ask you this. On Amazon, how do you get someone's attention? You run Amazon ads, or you try to rank your product in Amazon search. Again, everyone else is doing that. But even if you get their attention, what will determine whether someone buys your product? Okay, yes, is the benefits you provide, but also trust. How do you establish trust on Amazon? Something called Amazon reviews, right? People automatically assume, wow, this product has more reviews than this product. I'm going to buy this product, because in a shortcut in their brain, they determine the social proof from that, it must be a great product. They automatically assume that. What happens if you don't have reviews, right? How do you establish that trust? Well, the way you do that is you market outside of the platform. So here's an example. You're watching my video right now. Let's say I have a book on Amazon, and there's 100 other competitors on Amazon that are selling the same book, and they all have more reviews than I have for my book. My book has 0 reviews. But because I have your attention here, and maybe I've established a level of trust, probably more trust than these other books on Amazon, I establish trust by serving you, caring about you, trying to help you, trying to support you, trying to give you value. But if I were to say to you on my video, hey guys, I just published this new book on Amazon, and check it out. I think it can help you with this. And it's an inexpensive book. Here's the link. Go check it out. Now, if that book has 0 reviews and it's not ranking anywhere on Amazon, if I have your attention and there's a level of trust, and this book, this product can benefit you, I'm pretty confident to say that some of you might buy it. Some of you are like, oh great, I like this Stefan guy, I like what he has to say. This book might be a great product. I'm going to check it out. You'll buy it even if it has no reviews, because I've established trust and a relationship with you up front. Okay? So that's the power of internet marketing. And I'm sure if I then asked you, hey, would you, mind leaving a review for the book? I want to reach more people. I want to get it out there, and it'll help me on Amazon. Could you do me a favor and help me with that? If there's a level of trust and, we're friends, I'm sure you would do that as well. So that's the power of what works in 2020 and beyond. That's how you have to think. And yes, I know the limiting beliefs show up. Oh, that's a lot of work, Stefan. Oh, I can't do that. You can do it. You can. Don't sell yourself short, guys. Don't place limitations on yourself. The only limitations you have are the limited thinking that you have, guys. And you got to raise your standards for yourself in your life. What we can do as human beings is incredible. But often what we will do is disappointing. Because success is not a matter of ability. It's always a matter of motivation. You have the ability. What you can do is incredible. You're capable of so much. You're selling yourself short and doubting yourself and thinking what you can or can't do. You have to believe in your potential and believe in yourself, guys, and that you are destined for greatness and success. And then you got to tap into your drive. You have to make it a must for you in your life, and not a should. A lot of people, success is not something they really want bad enough. It's a should. They want it if it's easy, if it's convenient. Oh, if I don't have to do this or I don't have to do that, then yeah, I want success. That's not how it works. Success is something that you got to decide, that you're committed to, that you're going to endure the process of. And through the process, it's what you become and what it makes of you that really matters at the end of the day. And that success, you only deserve success if you provide value to people. Okay? Otherwise, you don't deserve success. And a lot of people, they want success before they provide any value, before they actually have earned it and are deserving of it. If success was easy for everybody, then we'd have a bunch of people that are just entitled and don't deserve it that are successful. And that's just not how the world works. Success is for those that are in the 1%. And to be in the 1%, you got to do things that are different than the 99%. If you want to do the 99%, you get what everyone else gets. And unfortunately, that's not much. A lot of people don't have much. They settle for a life of mediocrity. But you got to decide that you're going to be outstanding. You're going to stand out from everyone else. You're going to stand out from your competition. You're going to do more than everyone else and over-deliver. I've been watching Michael Jordan. They just launched this documentary called The Last Dance. Really amazing. I'm a huge sports fan, and I love Michael Jordan. He's one of my role models. One thing about Michael Jordan that they said is he had the mindset that he was going to do more than everybody else. So every practice, everyone else would show up for practice, they go to practice, practice ends, they go home. Not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would stay after practice and keep going. He would practice with more intensity than in a game. He believed that if he went full out in practice, then the game would become easy for them, right? Because he's already given it his all in practice. That's the mindset of someone that's successful. Michael Jordan said, I don't compare myself to everyone else. If you compare yourself to everyone else, you're not going to get much. He would compare himself to the standard and his capabilities of the best of what he could be. If he compared himself to everyone else, he wouldn't be the best in the world. So guys, it's your mindset, it's your belief system. That's what I talked about at the beginning, guys. That's what's going to determine your success at the end of the day. And Michael Jordan, the greats in the world, they're committed to being students. They're always learning. They're always investing in themselves. They're always trying to get better and better and better. And they're learning more about marketing, and they're learning these skills. And yes, it's not a short-term process, guys. It's a long-term journey. And that's what you got to understand and recognize. You got to decide, do you want it bad enough? Or are you going to just say, hey, too competitive, too saturated, I'm going to take the easy path. You take the easy path, it's going to lead to difficulties long-term down the road. I can promise you that. On the other hand, you do what's hard and difficult right now today, you set yourself up for success and everything else being easier for you. Because here's the problem. Whenever there's a low barrier of entry, there's going to be a lot of competition saturation. Because selling books on Amazon is so easy, like I could take a PDF file, a cover, put it up on Amazon, hit publish, tomorrow it's live. Low barrier of entry. Whenever there's a low barrier of entry, there's more competition because it's easy. So that's why you do what's hard. You do what's hard, higher barrier of entry. Most people, they don't build their brand in their blog because it's harder. But you do that, you have less competition, you get all the advantage. That's why, by the way, even selling physical products on Amazon, there's more potential with that higher barrier of entry. Cost you a couple $1,000 to get started with it, but because less people can afford it, less people do it, more opportunity and potential for those that are willing to do that work to get a product out there. It takes longer to put up a physical product than it does for a book. So if you do things with low barrier of entry and you do things that are easy, it doesn't equate to any success long term. Maybe a little bit in the short term, but never long term. It's not until you shift that gear in your head and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take the hard path. I take the hard path and I'm successful with that. No one else can replicate me. People try to replicate me all the time with my YouTube channel, things that I do. They can't because there's a different mindset that I'm operating at than most people are when they're first starting. It's not till they shift the mindset to match mine or people higher and greater doing bigger things, that's when they can get to that level and get similar results to that. So it all comes down to your mindset. All right, great questions, guys. Someone, KB said, what's the best trick to overcome procrastination? Listen, I just put out a video on Wednesday that went into that very topic. I don't want to repeat a lot of what I shared in that video. So here on this channel, click on it. The video is called, It's Time to Do the Things You Keep Putting Off in Life. Here's how. That video is going to help you with your procrastination. So check out that video on my channel. All right, hey Daniel. Daniel says, when I become successful, how do I remain humble? One fear I have is letting my future success get to my head. I would like to not let that happen. That's a great question, Daniel, and it's a really beautiful intention. I can share what I do and what works for me. For me, what really matters for me is my relationship with God. And so for me, part of remaining humble is I actually realize that all of my success, I don't get the credit for. All glory goes to God. Everything is possible through my Creator. And sometimes when I get in my ego and I get too prideful and I think that I'm, awesome or something like that, I always remind myself, yes, I did some great things, but really it's God that really matters. And, the one that made all this available from me. So for me, my spiritual connection, my spirituality is really powerful for me. And I think that's something that, is really important to cultivate, whether, you might have different religious views or spiritual views, but having some spiritual connection, I think, can always humble us in that way, because also it helps us understand our ego and the desire that the ego always has for more and more and more, and the need for significance. And it helps you cultivate awareness of the ego when that shows up. And I'm not perfect, and nobody is. Sometimes we live in our ego at times, but the awareness to catch yourself and say, hey, this is just me getting full of myself. This is me needing significance right now. And so, for me also what happens is you also learn that success, even though it's a great accomplishment to have success, how you define it really matters. For me, I don't define success as making a lot of money. I think that's cool, but that for me is not success. For me, I often look at people that have a lot of money, they're successful, and you might see those people on Instagram or YouTube, and they've got a Lamborghini and a nice home and flashy stuff. For me, I'm not that impressed by that. I can understand you might be impressed by it if you don't have that and you aspire to that, and maybe their ego wants to achieve those sort of things. But for me, what I'm really impressed by now are people that not only have financial success, but they have an amazing relationship with God, or they have an amazing relationship, their soulmate, and a lot of passion, or they have a healthy and fit body, or they're happy and fulfilled and joyous in their life, and they've got great family and they've got great friends. I'm not impressed by the person that has a lot of money, but is depressed and living in their ego and has no spiritual development, operating at a low consciousness, and is out of shape and overweight, and that's not what I'm inspired by, and hopefully you guys aren't either. You can be inspired by elements of that, but you got to know a lot of the most successful people in the world don't have the best family life. They don't have the best lifestyle and emotional and mental well-being. A lot of them have a lot of personal challenges. So you got to be careful who you listen to and who you follow, but it does depend on what you want in your life. So for me, I try to find the people that that inspire me, that are humble, that are spiritual, that have great relationships, and actually got all of that, they've got a great balance in their life and not just money. Money is not going to make you happy. It doesn't make you better than anyone. It's just, all it means is that you've maybe got further ahead than someone else at creating value and solving problems than someone else, but it doesn't make you better than anyone else. So just reminding yourself of that, and just reminding yourself that we're all equal as human beings. We all have some skills and talents and things that are better than others. And we also have weaknesses and challenges that we all have as well. We're not perfect. So just kind of reminding yourself of that, and that we're all brothers and sisters on this planet. Part of humanity is the family that we share, and we just love each other and support each other, and don't get too full of yourself and thinking that, you're, thinking that you're a god or something like that. All right, great questions, guys. Gloria says, how do you become fear of becoming successful, especially coming from a poor family? Well, it's great to see you, Gloria. Thanks for the question. How do you become fear of becoming successful? Essentially what you're saying to me is that you associate pain to success. And it's no different that, the fear of success is no different than the fear of failure, the fear of hard work, the fear of being judged or being criticized or being rejected. All fear is anticipation of pain, that you're projecting that there's going to be some level of pain that you've created a meaning of. You've made success mean pain. And you've got to really dissect that and find out what that is. What does it mean to be successful for you? Why are you afraid of success? Have you made it mean? And by the way, we create the meaning of everything in our life. Our brain is a meaning-making machine, because nothing has any meaning except the meaning that we give it. So you make a meaning that making money and being successful is going to mean that people are going to judge you, or maybe they're going to criticize you, or that if you have a lot of success, maybe you could lose it. There's a fear of loss there. Or maybe you believe that your success is going to change you in some way, to live in your ego and be significant and disconnect you from other people. You've got to identify what that is, right? And then when you understand what the meaning, the belief, which is just a belief, you created a belief around that. Once you identify the belief, you can change it just like that. You can actually look at the belief and say, hey, that's ridiculous. I've been telling myself that, that if I become successful, that it's going to make me greedy. That's bullshit. That's not true. That's just a BS belief system. Success, I can change the meaning of that. For me, success means that I can give more. I can contribute more. I can serve people more. I can do so much more with money and success than I ever could by being poor. Being poor, you don't serve anyone. Being successful, you can serve and you can do so much more from that. In fact, give me a sec here, guys. I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes. It's from Marianne Williamson. And this is one of my favorite quotes, guys. I used to read this every single day, and it can really inspire you guys. And I'm going to encourage you to look it up. But I'm going to read it out and share it to you guys right here. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous, successful? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So Gloria, I'd like to invite you, take that quote by Marianne Williamson called Our Greatest Fear. Read that every day to yourself out loud. Read it 3 times a day, again and again, because that's what you got to sink into your psyche. Is that you playing small, you shrinking right now, you sitting on the bench in your life, watching other people playing the game, watching other people on the court, on the field, and you're an extra in your own movie, that does not serve the world. That is an act of selfishness and holding yourself back, and you're actually hurting people in your life. If you want to serve people, you can serve so much more and make such a bigger difference by being an inspiration and being an example and defying the odds. And yes, some people will judge you and criticize you, right? But most will be inspired by you. And as the saying goes, if you want to avoid criticism in life, then say nothing, do nothing, and you'll be nothing. But if you do something and you say something and you put yourself out there on YouTube and you try to achieve your goals and you take action in your life, it makes other people feel uncomfortable. You're shining a spotlight on their insecurity, their missed opportunity, their lack of success, and they want to judge and criticize you and pull you down for that to make them feel better about themselves. It's like a bully that's been going on for decades and centuries and thousands of years in school. What is a bully? Why does someone feel the need to criticize and judge someone else, to try to say negative things, to try to bring them down? That's insecurity. They're unhappy with themselves. They're unfulfilled in their life. And there's a lot of people out there that are unfulfilled. They're suffering. Right now we got COVID-19, a virus. But did you know there's a lot of other viruses that you also got to be protective of? Yeah, you're going out, you're washing your hands, you're trying to social distance. How about social distancing from all these critics and people that write bullshit online? Reading through comments and indulging that. You got to understand these negative comments that people write when people judge or criticize you, your family, your friends, whatever it is, guys, that you're being infected by a virus. You're letting that seep into your psyche. So yeah, protect against COVID-19. But also protect against all the negativity and the criticism and the judgment, and don't indulge in that, because when you get infected by it, you become this negative troll and you go and you write negative things behind your keyboard. And there's plenty of people out there in the world, but all it is suffering. All it is insecurity. One of my favorite books, A Course in Miracles, which, by the way, Marianne Williamson actually wrote a book called A Return to Love, which was sharing about A Course in Miracles, which is a powerful book. But anyways, in the Course in Miracles shares that there's 2 types of responses in communication. There's either a loving response or there's a cry for help. Anybody that judges, criticizes, puts someone else down is a cry for help. They're suffering, they're in pain. They got to dissect, why am I hooked by that? Why is that triggering me? Why am I allowing what someone else is saying or doing and being in their life? Why is that affecting me so much? Why am I making someone else wrong and think that I'm right and living in my ego and saying this person has to be this way and say this or that, and if they don't, then they're wrong and I'm right, and I'm going to judge and criticize them for that? What's going on there? That has nothing to do with you. Something's going on in that other person, that they have trauma, they have pain, they have something in their life, in their past, that's not yet healed. So don't let what other people say and think and do and all of that matter. Don't give any value to it. If there are people that are loving and supportive of you, sure. And if they have good intentions, they give you positive feedback out of love, you can try that on and consider what they have to say and share with you. But put your blinders on the path of success. I don't really indulge much in social media and reading comments and things like that because honestly, a lot of it's not that useful. Part of it can feed the ego, and then other part of it is just infecting your psyche with negative people that are out there. I try to live my life not as a consumer of content, but a creator of content, as a leader, not a follower. I want to create a video, I want to post on social media, I want to give and serve, and I turn off my device and I go about and I live my day. I live my life in this real world that's beyond just the computer and technology that we can get sucked into, that, you know, it's just a different reality that we enter into. I've spent more than enough of my life in front of the computer, so I try to live my life outside of it now more than ever. All right, guys. Whew. Get passionate about these topics, guys. All right. Alex says, what's the first thing I can do to get out of the rat race and have freedom? Please, something realistic for someone is stuck with low money. Well, Alex, I think one thing is just learn. Learning doesn't cost much. Read books. Even for example, Robert Kiyosaki's got a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant. But, Robert Kiyosaki's got a great board game called Cash Flow. I used to play it a lot. And he talks about the rat race, which we're into, which is really the 9 to 5. We're trading our time for money. And then you get out of that when you make enough passive income that pays for your expenses. That's when you're financially free. And then you get into what is called the fast track. The fast track is, the different level of life. So really, Alex, what you got to do right now, learn a lot, improve skills, gain knowledge, decide on a path you want to go. If it's an online business, great. I've got a lot of resources that can help you with that. I've got a lot of free videos and I've got programs that you can pay money for that go deeper. But start there, learn. There's some inexpensive ways to get started. But right now, if money is limited for you, then you don't have the luxury maybe to invest as much to get started. It's going to take you longer. You got to accept that. It's going to be slower for you. If money's tight, just start. Start with a YouTube channel. Start with social media marketing. Consume the free content. Get some of the courses. The course I have right now, Mastering Book Publishing, is only $97. That's pretty inexpensive, by the way, to a lot of courses that cost over $1,000. And the regular price is $297, but I got a sale right now until Tuesday. The price goes up to $297. So $97, you can get in the game. You can write your own book for free. You can get a cover written on Fiverr.com for $5 or $10. And now you can have a book published on Amazon that is real estate on their platform that can now make you passive income. And now you just got to promote it and market it and leverage what you can. But now that right there is an opportunity to get out of the rat race where you actually have something that can make you money while you sleep. So you just got to keep learning and invest what you can and just understand it's going to be a process for you. Paper Chaser, hey, what's up? What are your thoughts on Teespring and print on demand? I do print on demand. I have it's more through Printful, so I have merchandise and things, different apparel and things like that, which I actually donate all money to charity for that. It's an okay model, but honestly, it's not one that's going to make you a lot of money. I just think there's better models out there than just doing that. There are some people, they create apparel and T-shirts and they try to make it stand out by having apparel that has a political statement on it or something that's based on a certain belief that people buy and want to wear and get behind. And print on demand, at least you don't have to buy inventory and store it somewhere. So it is a path, but I just think there's better ways. I think publishing books is better. Publishing books, you can do print on demand with paperback. Amazon's paperback system is all print on demand. You don't have to order inventory. When someone orders the book, they print it, ship it to them, and they take their costs from that. So I think there's other better models. I don't focus on that one much, and I do have print, with Printful, things like that, but it's just not that life-changing, significant money. Can I make money online without paying money? If yes, could you please give any source? There are ways you can make money online with no money, but honestly, it's just so hard. And it's going to take you so long. And it's hard enough to make money online and build a business with money. Even with a course, that your chance of success, you just got to understand, if you don't have much money, is going to be a lot lower. And that's why I usually recommend and work with people like, hey, if you don't have the money right now, all right, let's get you some money. Like, let's get you a job. Like, let's trade time for money. Let's get you money first. Because even the fact that you don't have money, I hate to say it, and this is no judgment against anyone, but it does tell me something about you. The fact that you don't have money maybe tells me that you can't hold a stable job, or that you don't have enough value that someone's willing to hire you and pay you for your time and give you money in exchange for the value that you can provide for them. Or maybe it tells me that you're not a hard worker. You're not working hard enough or smart enough. Or maybe it tells me that you're not managing your money and responsible with your money and saving your money and putting it aside and living below your means. So the fact you don't have money, to me, is a bit of a sign that you got to kind of figure things out there first to get in a place where you're responsible, you're making a consistent level of money, because it's a lot easier to do that with a job than it is in starting a business. Starting a business is a lot harder than getting a job. Getting a job is a lot easier than starting an online business. You get a job, you just do what the person says, and you get paid for showing up, and doing the work of what is expected of you. A business, you don't get paid for that. You can put in a lot of time and energy. You don't make any money from that unless you actually provide value to people, and then you get money in exchange for that. So if you're in a place you just don't have money, make some money in your life first, consistently, pay your bills, make sure you live well below your means, sell stuff you don't need, and just understand you got to get that sorted first, and then take some of that money and start a business. Take $100, take $200, $500, $1,000, and then start a business from that. It'll be so much easier and faster. Otherwise, the options I can give you is like, okay, start a YouTube channel, create a Facebook page, create an Instagram page, put out content, okay? Do affiliate marketing, promote products. You can do that, that's free. Nothing I share there with you costs any money. But the problem is, it's gonna be so hard for you because you're just not gonna know what to do. You're gonna be guessing and trying to figure out okay, how do I publish a YouTube video? What do I even publish videos on? And what do I post on Instagram? Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of myself and post it. You're gonna look at yourself 3 months, 6 months later and be like, I'm not making any money here, nothing's working. It's because honestly, you can go about it free, but it's so hard. That's why if you just get a course in the system and you invest money, and yes, you got to work at a job and make money and save money and invest in it, that is going to make it so much easier and faster than just randomly trying to build a business without really knowing what you're doing. So that's why I recommend yeah, you can do those things that are free, but honestly, good luck. It's going to be really tough to do that. I just think it's better, make some money. There's jobs online you can get. You could be a freelancer. You can develop skills doing that. There's companies hiring online. There are some areas like that. And you just got to get your money in order. A business is not going to give you any money in the short term. It's a long-term process and journey. You plant your seeds, it will grow and sprout over the long run. All right. But I wish I could tell you guys, I wish I could give you guys a way to make money fast and easy without spending money and spending time. It just doesn't exist, guys. And I'm grateful that doesn't exist, because you wouldn't grow, you wouldn't become the kind of person that's worthy and deserving of success. Success makes you more confident, a better decision maker, more intelligent, more creative, more resourceful. It forces you to care about people. It forces you to become more in the process of success. That's a beautiful thing. That's a great thing about it. So endure and embrace the process of success. All right, guys, great questions. We'll do a few more before you wrap up. Elaine says, hi, Stefan. Thank you to you and Tatiana for your guidance. You're welcome. Thank you. What would you recommend for time management for success? Elaine, there's some great books and resources that can help you with time management. Getting Things Done is a book, and there's other systems that you can find as well. For me, what I've learned is that it's not as much time management, it's priority management. See, you always get done what you prioritize. And a lot of people, they spend their time doing things that don't really move the needle in their life. Because not all actions and activity are equal in your life. There are certain actions are going to yield more results and success than others. Something called the 80-20 principle, which, by the way, there's a book called 80-20 principle, the Pareto principle, that I recommend you check out as well. But what I've learned, what I've gotten really great at, I'd say, in my life is I'm really good at prioritizing. And of everything I can do, and trust me, there's a million things that I can do, I'm sure you've got on your plate as well, I can identify, okay, out of this list, what's the most important thing that's going to make the biggest impact in my business, in my life, and how can I prioritize that? And throughout my day, every day, there's many things I can do. I can go to the gym, I can go to my job, I can spend time in my relationship, I can go, I can do this, all these things. But of all those things, what's going to make the biggest difference? And I prioritize that first. I eat the frog. I do what's high leverage. And I do that every single day. You do that every day, you're going to achieve some incredible things in your life. And so whatever is the most important thing for you to do each day, just do that in the first thing in the day. The very first thing in the day. And it's often the hardest thing too, isn't it? It's a lot easier to check your social media, check your email, return phone calls. Those are the easy things you can do, but they don't really make the biggest difference. You do the most important, the highest leverage thing, the hardest thing, you're going to move so much further and faster. So that's my time management tip for you. And actually, I've got a program called the Life Mastery Accelerator, lifemasteryaccelerator.com. I've got more of an in-depth time management training of what I do and how I plan my day and strategies like that. Dino says, how do you work consistently so you can reach your goal? Well, Dino, I first plan out what my goal is. I know why I want this goal, and then I create an action plan. I create a plan for that goal, and I break it down, and I backwards engineer from the result of what I want. Okay, so 3 months from now, maybe I want to look a certain way with my body. I want to have a certain quality relationship. I want to launch a new product, on Amazon or on my website, whatever it might be. I know what my goal is. I break down the steps all the way to where I am today and exactly what I need to do to achieve that. And so I know, okay, if I want to achieve this body, I've got to work out 5 days a week. I got to follow this fitness and nutrition program. And if I do that, I can achieve the goal. Now, as I implement that plan, I might be off track at times. Maybe I'm not getting there fast enough and I'm not really seeing the results. Then I got to look at my plan and modify it and adapt and have awareness and change it up a little bit so I can get myself in course correct to get to where I want to go. But it really just comes down to really why you want it and your drive. I mean, you can achieve anything in your life if you want it bad enough. A simple example to you, if I said to you right now, you have this goal, you got to achieve it in the next 3 months, you got to find a way to make money online. I don't care what disadvantages you have, what limitations you have, all of that will go away if I said, I have a gun to your head, and if you don't achieve this in the next 3 months, I'm going to shoot you. And I'm going to shoot everyone that you know and love. I can guarantee your laziness, your procrastination, all your limiting stories is going to go out the window, and you're going to become resourceful. You're going to now find the way or make the way. You're going to come up against a wall, you're going to find a way over it, under it, around it, or you're going to break through that wall. You're going to get on the other side of that wall. So all of your excuses dissipate when you have a strong enough reason, a strong enough purpose for what you want. And for a lot of people, they just don't want it bad enough. There's many times in my life, I remember I used to purposely, when I was younger, in my 20s, purposely put myself in situations where my back is against the wall. I had no choice but to move forward. I would put pressure on myself. And you might say that's crazy. I mean, it is, but pressure creates diamonds. It shapes you into that person that you want to be. And so I would find ways to get leverage on myself to make success a must. I remember one time, for example, I moved out, I was living on my friend's couch, and I decided I'm going to move in my own apartment in downtown Vancouver. Always a dream of mine. Vancouver is one of the most expensive cities in the world to live in. I found a bachelor apartment that I think was about $1,100 a month, which was way more than what I could afford. But I thought to myself, hey, I have enough money for the first month or two of my savings to pay to live in this place. After that, I have no idea how I'm going to come up with the money. But I realized the how wasn't as important as the why. I realized that because I have my back against the wall, I'm going to have to figure it out to pay month number 3 and 4, and I'm going to sign a 1-year lease so I'm locked in. That's going to create a new level of drive and commitment in myself where I've got to get resourceful. I got to find the way. I got to figure it out. And I did. And I found ways to survive and to pay my rent. I mean, if you got to, get food on the table, if you got to support your family, if you burn your boats, you got to take the island. Which, by the way, is something that the ancient Greeks used to do. That if you want to take an island, if you still have your boat, in the back of your mind, you can retreat. And a lot of you guys have a plan B. A lot of you guys have a safety net, so you don't go all in. You're like, okay, well, I can do this, but I still got my boat. I can still retreat. I can still go back to my old life. I can still go back to having a job or whatever it might be. They would burn their boat. Get to the island, burn the boat. Now there's no possibility of retreat. And now in their mind, their only belief system was to move forward. Success would be inevitable. And they'd have a higher drive and commitment than their enemy did in the competition. Because if they don't win, they're dead. That's the kind of urgency and the craziness, honestly, sometimes you got to have to be successful. I told you success is not for everybody. It's for the 1%. You got to do things that are different than 99%. 99% of people look at someone like that and say they're crazy, they're stupid, they're an idiot. I would never do that. That's why they're in the 99%. And the 1% is willing to do what successful people do, what failures won't do. Okay, let's just put it that way. All right, great questions, guys. Great questions. Hope you guys are enjoying this. And if you are, please give it a thumbs up. All right, Mikhail says, do you think sexual sublimation can help you be successful? I'm really interested in your answer. Well, Mikhail, I'm not sure what you mean by sublimation. I can talk about sexual energy, though, and sexual transmutation, which is something that Napoleon Hill wrote about in Think and Grow Rich. There's different belief systems, and actually, funny enough, I'm reading a book right now called Cupid's Poison Arrow. Amazing book. Talks a lot about, I'll maybe explain it a little bit later, but it's more of a relationship book, but it talks about your sexual energy and things of that nature. A lot of Taoist lovemaking and history and belief system was that your semen is your life force, and so when you ejaculate, when you orgasm, you're losing your life force. And that's oftentimes, by the way, if you're a man and you ejaculate, often you feel afterwards tired and relaxed, and you're kind of like, I'm done. Even when you're having sex with a woman, even if amazing person that you love, oftentimes when you ejaculate, you have this feeling of, I'm done, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. You lose your interest, and even if you're watching pornography, you watch pornography, you can be very aroused, which is oftentimes a state of dopamine when there's anticipation of reward. Dopamine's a neurotransmitter in our brain that makes us feel amazing pleasure whenever there's a reward that we're anticipating. But oftentimes the old school Taoist thinking is that when you ejaculate, you lose your life force. And so they learned how to channel their sexual energy to retain their semen and not ejaculate. And by the way, if you study Tantra, there's actually ways you can ejaculate as a man, or you can orgasm as a man without ejaculation. Mantak Chia has written some great books on this that I recommend. He's got a book called The Multi-Orgasmic Man by Mantak Chia. But you learn how to channel that sexual energy. And you learn how to actually channel it up through your spine, up to your head, and then bring it down and store it in your stomach. So those are different techniques that you can do, but I absolutely believe that can make a huge difference in channeling that energy towards your success, towards your goals. Even a lot of professional athletes, restrain from sex and orgasm and ejaculation before a big fight. But also this book called Cupid's Poison Arrow has really been fascinating because I've been really diving into dopamine and the consequences of dopamine addiction over the last few years and learning how much overstimulation of dopamine causes havoc in our lives. I mean, it really is a huge consequence. The world that we live in, for example, when you go on social media, when you binge watch YouTube videos or Netflix videos, or you do drugs like cocaine or alcohol or eat sugar and junk food or watch pornography, all of these things, they overstimulate dopamine. And what happens is the more you overstimulate dopamine, what happens is you desensitize yourself and you need more. You build a tolerance, you need more and more and more stimulation to feel good, and you get addicted. Dopamine is what causes addiction. It's what causes addiction to alcohol, to drugs, to pornography, to sugar. It's the dopamine, the fantasy and anticipation of the pleasure that it will give you. So what happens is When you overstimulate dopamine, you deal with a lot of side effects like anxiety, depression. You feel numb to things in life and you just don't feel happy and joyful. You know, it takes so much for you to feel good because you've overstimulated that neurotransmitter. And you know, there's a whole host of other challenges that you face with that. So the solution, and I did a video on this a few months back on how to reset your mind, dopamine addiction, is you start to detox a lot of the stuff that's really messing with you. But in Cupid's poison arrow, the most pleasurable experience that a human being can have that's not induced by anything unnatural like drugs or alcohol or things like that. The most pleasure that we can have and experience is an orgasm. Okay, an orgasm. That they've done brain scans that when you orgasm, there's a neurochemical storm going on in your brain with dopamine that goes crazy. And what happens is they did research that whenever you orgasm, even for a woman, by the way, as well, okay, you experience the same thing, there's a crash, and it takes your body and your brain 2 weeks to recover. And often what they've found, in this woman's hypothesis in her book, is that a lot of people in relationships, they lose attraction for their partner, they get irritated at their partner, they get annoyed that they left the cupboard open or they left the, you know, they didn't take out the trash or whatever it might be. They feel these emotion towards it, and they have found that it's due to an orgasm. So in this book, what you learn, the solution to that is something called the Correxa method. I'm not going to go too deep. You can get the book if you want to learn more about it, but it's learning how to not orgasm but experience such levels of pleasure without it, which sounds insane if you've been wrapped up in the belief system and kind of have that mindset around orgasm, the attachment of it. But her book is pretty compelling and powerful. And so for me, I don't watch pornography. I don't indulge too much in things that overstimulate dopamine. Once in a while, I'll play a video game. I watch some movies and things like that I enjoy. But I'm very conscious of dopamine addiction and what it can do for us. And the orgasm piece is fascinating. So I don't even orgasm that much. I channel my sexual energy, and that helps me be more productive and more motivated on other parts of your life. And so if you struggle, by the way, with anxiety, depression, laziness, procrastination, a lot of that stuff, look into dopamine addiction and doing a dopamine detox. You can find videos on it, more content. I want to invite you guys to explore it because I want to bring that up because it's really important. It can change a lot of people's lives. All right, guys, I know there's more questions you guys have, but I'm going to wrap it up. Maybe I'll do another live soon, and I've been going on for about 2 hours now. Time flies by, but it's been a pleasure to share with you guys, and hopefully, you guys have gotten a lot from what I've shared, and the recording will be available for you guys afterwards as well. So if you want to rewatch it, you can. We covered a lot of topics here today on mindset and making money online and different opportunities and a lot of things like that. So watch this, consume it. Hopefully you guys benefit from it. Of course, subscribe, Project Life Mastery, for many more videos. I appreciate you guys for your time and attention. And also a reminder for you guys, my Mastering Book Publishing course, the sale, the discount, the launch that we have is still going on. The price does go up on Tuesday to $297. So right now you can get it in at the cheapest price. Take advantage of it. It's one of the cheapest courses that I have available for you guys. And I want to make sure you can take advantage of this to start making money online and take advantage of the opportunities right now on Amazon. So that's at www.masteringbookpublishing.com. Check it out. If you have any questions about it, you can reach out to my support team. If you go to that page, there's a blue button on the bottom right corner where you can live chat. That is me, that I'm actually responding to questions that people have there as well. So I do the live chat customer support for my business, usually during a big launch like this. And even if you email my support team, I'm the one that's usually responding right now, at least for this launch, and then after that I won't be able to. So if you have questions about mastering book publishing, you're considering it, you're on the fence, you have specific questions I didn't answer here today, then go to www.masteringbookpublishing.com, and then you can live chat with me there. So thank you guys so much. A pleasure to connect with you guys. Be well, be strong, be safe. God bless you, and take care.